Gib is asking for too much. Anesongib is looking to make his way back into the boxing ring to maintain his status in the top 5 of the YouTube boxing scene. With Misfits Boxing being a new player that has shaken things up in YouTube boxing, being the first promotion with a stable backing and putting on consistent events, you would think Gib would be one of the first to take to the stage and try to cement himself as one of the faces of the company, especially with his boxing career being closely linked to the company's CEO, KSI. It seems Gib has been wanting to fight on Misfits as well, with him saying that Misfits 1 was the best YouTube boxing card to date, and he was specifically interested in getting the winner of the fight between Face Temper and Slim, which Slim obviously ended up taking with a second round stoppage. This fight became the perfect fight to make, assuming Gib was able to get past his next opponent in Awesome McBroom, which he ultimately did, as Gib and Slim were not only put in a similar position, breaking into the top YouTube boxers in the scene, but they have a history dating back to a couple of years now, and this being a very anticipated fight. However, there have been some pretty big hiccups in the way, preventing both Misfits and Gib from coming to an agreement getting Gib to fight on their promotion. Since Gib's knockout win over Awesome McBroom in September, both KSI's manager, Mams Taylor, and Gib himself have had a public back and forth regarding their negotiations for Gib to fight on Misfits. Gib originally expressed how he's been wanting to fight on Misfits, but Mams wouldn't let him on, with Mams replying that he's offered several fights to Gib, to which no progress has been made. Things went quiet for a bit before Slim was announced to be fighting Tom Zanetti on the undercard of KSI vs Dylan Dennis, leaving everyone confused as to why it wasn't Gib fighting Slim instead of Tom Zanetti. Both KSI and Mams then took to Slim's defense, insinuating that Gib had turned down the Slim fight, asking for too much money to fight, and ultimately pricing himself out. Gib then revealed that this was the lowest fight offer he's been made in the last 3 years, since his first pro fight against Jake Paul, which then led Mams to reveal the fight offers that have been made, being $250,000 to fight Face Temper in January, and then more to fight Slim on a separate headline event, along with a surprising offer to fight his friend KSI for a lot more, with them continuing their back and forth for a little longer, with Gib criticizing Mams' poor matchmaking and mismatched fights. While there is a lot of he said she said in this situation, one thing that we can't take for a fact are the offers that were made for Gib to fight Face Temper and Slim, which he turned down due to the offers being too low. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying the content so far, be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing, as it helps out tremendously. But back on track, while Gib is a huge draw in the influencer boxing scene, and while he's probably worth more than guys like Face Temper and Slim, he's not proven to be the biggest draw to match anywhere near the level of the likes of KSI or the Paul brothers. Taking a look at Gib's last 3 years and last 3 fights, he's fought on the co-main event of a DAZN show against Jake Paul, to which he lost a lot of star power after losing to Jake in the first round. Then he fought on the first Social Gloves card against Taylor Holder, which was not a huge pay-per-view success, but with him not even being the headliner and coming off of the Jake Paul fight, he didn't exactly show much of a draw, but his emphatic performance definitely increased his draw in the scene. Finally, most recently, he took on Awesome McBroom on a flopped event, which, while not necessarily his fault, with it being McBroom's event, Gib hasn't necessarily shown his ability to be a pay-per-view draw like he feels he is worth. It's hard to argue how much you're worth after fighting on events that's budgets are not at all sustainable, which is why we haven't seen them continue putting on events. Misfits Boxing is the only sustainable YouTube boxing promotion we've really seen thus far, which is putting on consistent events almost every month, compared to one like Social Gloves, who practically went bankrupt after their first event.
What happened is you had a couple of organizations. Again, I'm not here to throw people under the bus. I think we're above that. We're beyond that at this point. But what happened is some organizations came in, said, hey guys, give you a couple of $1 million, give you 5 million, give you 2 million, give you 800 grand, just offering crazy money to everyone to fight, but completely overpaying, but not actually paying. So over-promising and under-delivering, and ended up not paying a lot of those fighters, and some of them getting paid pennies on the dollar. Then there was another organization who did overpay a bunch of them, and they're not around anymore because of that. So this is the thing. We want to pay fairly. We pay very fairly. If you don't bring eyeballs to the pay-per-views, if you don't bring butts into seats, how the hell can we justify paying you, overpaying? You know, there is a premium because at the end of the day, people want to see these fights. They want to see good fights. I try my best with what's available to me. It's not always easy.
This has likely led Gib to believe that he is worth more than he is, leading him to be waiting for opportunities to come to him, rather than being active, capitalizing on opportunities, and proving he is the star that we feel like he is. This is something that we're currently seeing Slim do a great job of, as he is fighting on his 3rd out of the 4 Misfits events put on so far, and has been taking fights against anyone put in front of him, increasing not only his experience, but his draw, star power, and therefore pay every time he gets in there. With Gib being offered to fight Face Temper for $250,000 on the undercard of KSI vs Dylan Dennis, he could have taken that fight to try and make a statement on a huge stage of KSI's undercard, and therefore made his fight against Slim a bigger fight where he makes more money and everyone wins in the end. But it's definitely understandable for Gib to be pushing back on these offers, as it is important to know your worth and not get underpaid for what you are offering a promotion. However, while Gib is a draw in the scene, he isn't necessarily a proven huge draw, which I feel like is getting in the way between what he believes he should be paid and what he's getting offered to fight for on Misfits. This could end up stagnating Gib's career if he sits around missing opportunities that he could be getting on Misfits and waiting for big fights to come to him. Gib has also put out a message saying that just because he's someone's biggest money fight does not make them his, which seems to be referring to Slim and could be referencing that he is a bigger upcoming fight, hopefully meaning that he will be more active this year, with him also hinting at an upcoming filthy fight in 2023. Hopefully we are soon able to get an agreement between Gib and Misfits Boxing in terms of negotiations, and we eventually get the fight that people want to see, being anesongib versus Slim Albaher within the near future. But let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed my content, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more, and I'll catch you guys later.